Hi, howdy, welcome back everybody. We are still in our stay-at-home orders, which means I am still making these to have something to do. So if this is your first time here, feel free to reach down and hit the like button. If this is not your first time here, feel free to reach down, hit the like button and the subscribe button. That way at least more people will be able to see me and interact with me, and I'll have somebody to talk to about makeup. Like, our stay-at-home orders have really limited that, and as it was, I only have a couple friends I can talk to about that stuff. The rest of my friends are men. I end up talking to them about other things like gardening and sports. Makeup's really not their thing. So, feel free, reach down, hit like, hit subscribe, or if you want to message about what I'm showing or something you want to see, feel free, down there in the comments. I read everything. Okay, we are in our 5th week. We will be starting our 6th week of our stay-at-home orders here where I live in the Midwest, Great Lakes region. We do have a tentative reopening date for the state I'm in, which is May 1st, but I'm not holding my breath since a lot of the surrounding areas are putting theirs off till the end of May. So I will keep you guys updated on that. Now today I have these. I thought I'd show you these. Now in the past I have done a review on what's called the Greenlights palette by Charlotte Tilbury. It's also called the Reformulated Rebel palette. It's one of her luxury palettes. Now I thought I would show you guys both the original Rebel palette and then the new reformulated palette, the Rebel, which is also called the Greenlights palette. I would also show you, we're also going to look at the fact that the original Rebel palette is in her original formula, whereas the new Rebel palette, she recently reformulated her stuff, and a lot of her luxury palettes have not been reformulated yet. She has not gotten around to doing that, and I'm really hoping she does soon. But her new formula is super pigmented, and I'm going to show you the difference, if that makes sense. Now, I was actually a fan of her original Rebel palette. Luxury palette. It was like emerald greens. I did like this one a lot. And yes, that is exactly how the colors look in person, those shades of green. It's very flattering, but green is not a color a lot of people feel confident wearing. It does take a certain amount of confidence to pull off green, but since I'm just like a green freak, I love wearing the color. But there we go. That is compared to the new Rebel palette. Let's see, look at that. And this is more of a khaki to gold palette. Like, it's more of an olive green palette, if that makes sense. I mean, a lot of people are saying this is a lot more wearable, and I guess for the everyday person it probably is. And there we go, side by side to see the color differences. In fact, let me turn on one of my front light cameras so you guys might have a little bit. And yeah, that's exactly what they look like in person, oddly enough, for once the camera's hitting everything right. That is a soft pink color. And then this one, it is golds and browns and khakis. Now, I actually, when they discontinued this one, the original one, what I did was I actually got online and hunted down a second one because I do love this palette and I do wear it. Still kind of on the fence on the new palette. Like, I do like the reformulation she did, and I love olive green, like olive green, which is her enhanced shade. Love it. Like, it's my absolute favorite shade of green is olive green. So we are going to swatch these today, let you take a look-see. And I'm doing this because I'm actually still waiting on several orders. I will explain that in a second. So I'm going to swatch this. This is the original formula, across and across. I'm going to put the swatches on my arm, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing on this one. And when I go to put it on, I'm going to put one on each eye so you guys can actually see the difference. Okay. Now, I actually ordered off of Sephora some stuff. I ordered off of a couple of sites some stuff. So I'm actually waiting for those to come in. I know a lot of people are posting their haul videos, but with the COVID-19, Sephora is pretty upfront. Okay, here is our prime shade. It is actually a rose gold. don't think the lighting's showing the rosy as much as it should. It's a rose gold. This is our enhance shade on the original. This is our pop shade. Let me get in there. Now I was a little surprised because this pop shade is actually a little bit more colored than a lot of her previous pop shades. But with the green one, she definitely went all for it. Now this is a true celestial. It does have the glitter in it. It does sparkle. Now I do love this. And then this is her smoke shade for it. And as you can see, let's see if I can get the lighting just right. To display these, if you look hard enough, you can still find the original. See, it is like a rosy gold, that one. If you look hard enough, you can still find the original. Like I said, as soon as I heard they were discontinuing and that she was bringing out a reformulated one, I hunted down one of the originals so I'd have a backup. I do love the emerald coloring a lot more. Let's wipe these off and do swatches of the new reformulated Rebel. Now I am waiting for some makeup from Sephora. I did do their VIB sale, but I'm going to talk about that in another video. I am waiting for some Pat McGrath. I did order from her spring sale. One order I put in was for my friend Jazz's birthday. I'm giving her a couple things. And then the other was for me. So I'm actually still waiting on, like, part of the order with her birthday stuff in it had 1 or 2 things for me. And then the other one, which was for me, is still waiting on. Okay, and we're going to swatch this one. So I will show you guys that when I get it in. Right now, I'm still just playing with some of the stuff I got. Okay, this is our prime shade. It is definitely a gold. And you see the difference in the formula. See how much more pigmented it is and somewhat more metallic. This is our enhanced shade. Now this is the olive green. This is our pop shade. And as you see, this pop shade, while it's a lot finer on the sparkle, it's almost more like a metallic. It's not what you'd call a true celestial shade. So it is almost like having a whole nother color in the quad compared to the other quads, but at the same time, it does not offer the same pop and pizzazz you're used to from a Charlotte Tilbury. And this is her smoke shade. Now this smoke shade, unlike her past ones, which are almost always mattes, does have a fine micro glitter in it, as you can see. Because if you compare it to the first Rebel smoke shade, you notice it's a matte. There's no glitter, there's no sparkle. This one, sparkle, sparkle. And we're going to apply these the way Charlotte Tilbury suggests applying them. So you can see what the full look is that she formulated for these is. Now, I do like her new formula in terms of its intensity and its softness. And like the original formula was not as pigmented. I'm to the point I wish she had reformulated but stuck with the original colors, or when she had reformulated, I kind of wish she had concentrated on the color green a little more. Her Rebel palette has the golds and some browns in it as well, as you can see, and I kind of am a little frustrated with that, but I kind of see where she's going. She's looking for something that's a little bit more marketable to everybody, not just the 1 or 2 people like me who are like absolute freaks for the color green. So let's start off with this eye as the original Rebel, and this eye is the new reformulated Rebel. Now we are putting the all over the prime shade on. Now the original prime shade was very light. Like her formula definitely changed. It was not as pigmented. But it is a wash of all over like a rosy gold. Okay, see that? I said, all over wash. It's a rosy gold, but it's not super duper pigmented like some of the others are. Okay, so we're going to put our prime shade for the new one on as well. At the same time, so you guys can see a color comparison of how pigmented the difference is, the changes. Now this is supposed to be the same. It's an all over wash of color. So this is what's listed as her prime shade. See the difference? Now, while they were definitely going for two different colors, this is like a rose gold, this is just a standard gold, you see how pigmented this is in comparison, and how pigmented just one swatch set went down the arm. Okay. Now, I don't want to say I'm going to be doing a couple of these as filler videos till I get some of my orders in. I did order from the Sephora site for the sale. However, it does let you know when you order that because of COVID and shipping that like they do not guarantee my order before May 14th. But I think part of that's because I'm VIB. Like I said, we'll talk about that in another video. Okay, now we're going to put in our enhanced shade on this. To be fair though, I concentrated more on skincare. This is our enhanced shade on the older one. Let me just buff it out a little bit. See, it is an emerald green. See, and next to it, with the two next, you can see the rose gold next to that green. Okay, now let's put our new one, the enhanced shade. And we are applying this like Charlotte Tilbury's website suggests. See, and that is definitely an olive color. We buff that out a little bit. See, it definitely looks like an olive. Much more olive on the eye than it did on the arm. Already you see the tonal difference. We're definitely going with emerald on this one, and definitely much more like a khaki jungle look. This actually reminds me of an Estee Lauder sampler they gave out about 2 years ago that had almost the exact same color setup that they called like a jungle greens palette. Okay, now let's put on our smoke shade. I did not order as much from the Sephora sale as I would like to, but I am on a limited budget, and I was looking for, like I said, mostly skin stuff. Okay, this is the smoke shade from the original. Okay, for those of you that did not see my first review on the Greenlights palette, the Greenlights palette that she came out with for the Magic Eye set that's supposed to pop hazel eyes is actually the new Rebel, reformulated Rebel palette, renamed just for the color set. It does tell you that on the Charlotte Tilbury website. So if you're wondering how you got directed to this, that's why. Okay. So technically, this is also the Greenlights palette. Let me just buff that a little. Okay, smoking that up. Now let's smoke up the new one. Okay, let's blend that in a little more. There we go. And she does suggest sometimes using your finger for blending. I don't tend to like using my finger in palettes because, one, it leaves your oils and whatever's on your hands in the palette. Two, it's pressing down the powder and eventually can lead to hard paleting. And I don't want to do that either. Okay, so we have smoked out both eyes. Let's see, can we see the micro glitters in this smoke one as opposed to this one? Now I have green eyes. I don't have hazel eyes. I have green eyes. But we will see if either of these really pops that eye color. Now we're going to put in our pop shade from our original. So you guys remember from my previous video, I'm not a big fan of her pop shades just because they tend to sprinkle glitter everywhere. But this is one of the few times I will make an exception just because I do love her green palette. See the sparkle in that one? Now I would honestly use the new double-ended eyeliner she came out with for her Greenlights thing, for her eye color magic, for both of these. Just different ends. But I do really like this one. I really wish. Okay, now we're going to use the pop shade on this one. We're going to apply that with our finger. Okay, that's our new pop shade. Now let's throw on some mascara. Stand up and take a look at this. Yes, my hair is pulled back. It is somewhat rough looking from lack of the hairstylist. Like, usually I get it done real regular, but since it's not counted as an essential business, that has not been done yet. And I'm willing to wait a couple more months if I have to make sure it's safe to get my hair done. fallout on the side. This is a new Greenlights. You see all the glitter. Look at all that fallout. Whereas this had less fallout. Like I said, it's two very different formulas. This one is a lot more pigmented. It is just as smooth. Like they're both soft, they're both smooth. But that's the fallout I'm getting on this new one. Which I get with some of the heavier glitter and metallics. I'm just a little surprised that one of the Charlotte Tilburys is falling out to this extent. And when it comes to the other side, I'm not seeing any fallout on the original formula. Let's turn off this overhead light. Okay. Like I said, see, the eyes are green. Now, which one do you guys think pops the green more in my eyes naturally? I'm kind of inclined to think actually the original one did. I don't know. What do you guys think? Which one? Okay. Let's turn that light back on. That is the two Rebel palettes. The one pro of the new palette and the new formulation is it is a lot more pigmented. The con is you saw the fallout for the new pigment, so you basically have to put your makeup on even with a tap. Even after you tap it, because I was tapping the new one knowing that that is a problem. And it's still, like the color set, like I said, I kind of wish she had just redone this in her new formula. But I understand why she didn't. But like I said, if you like this one, I'm sure if you look online, you can scare up one of these before they're absolutely gone. Like you should be able to. I was able to. So there's that. So tell me what you think, guys. Which one do you like better? Like, I think I like this one better. I also think this one pops my eyes more. Tell me what you guys think. Okay. Any questions? I'm going to do one more close-up of the swatchings. Old Rebel, new Rebel. Like I said, I would put the green eyeliner on if I were wearing this out to work before I left, because it would look really dope with either one, honestly. This one would probably be the dark matte, and this one would probably be the olive one, the metallic olives. Now, my one thing that really, my one naysay for this new palette, this new side, really, when you applied the original, when you used the original olives, while the pop shade was a green and you could see it somewhat on the arm, like you knew the color that was underneath. It kind of diffused it. You could kind of even see almost like the rose gold in it. If you see it in person, there is a little bit more of the rose gold visible. This is not my greatest palette to display this, what I'm about to say. But the thing that frustrates me on the new ones is you put the prime shade all over everything, and by the time you get to your pop shade, which is now a metallic with some glitter in it, but it's more metallic than anything, you're putting it over here to pop the eye, and you're pretty much obliterating almost all of the gold that's in there. Now, when I applied the pop shade, I was very careful not to take it all out, because a lot of times if you watch the videos, people put it in one corner and just swipe across to get the pop, halfway across the eye. I don't like that. That is one thing with her palette sets that does bother me a little bit, which is probably why a lot of times I skip the pop shade on them entirely, is because I feel like it blots out that original prime shade, and what was the point of me putting that prime shade on if it's covered by something else now? It's probably just me thinking that. Not gonna lie, I think I've worn this one more than I've worn this one, but I think that's probably because I like emerald greens a little bit more. Now, I absolutely am in love with olive green. Like, if you ever see any of my everyday clothes, tons of olive green. Love green. I'm gonna wipe this off, guys. And one wipe, you see what remains. 2 wipes. And you still kind of see the original colors a little bit more. So while it was not technically as pigmented, I think the colors stayed a little harder on the original. but that's just me. Like, I think I definitely liked the original color scheme a little more. I think that's because it was not quite as golden warm toned as as the new one is. Like, I get she's big on her warm tones and the warm stuff and was aiming for a bigger audience, but I think this was a little bit more neutral. That was just me. Okay, guys, tell me what you think down at the bottom. Give me some ideas. You know, which one do you like better? Which one do you think pops my eyes more? What do you think about her new formulation? Anybody else actually tried the old and the new quads? And like I said, if you really like the old one, look around online. You can definitely find it. You'll still be able to scare it up somewhere. I enjoyed it enough to get a backup. Okay, guys, remember, stay safe, wash your hands, social distancing if you can, wear a mask in public. It will help decrease the transmission rate. We're almost at the end. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel, unless you're in Illinois, who suddenly expanded theirs to the end of May. Good luck, guys. Sorry. Still waiting to see if my state does that. Okay. Have a nice night. Thanks.